From Athens, West Virginia, this is Old Boots and New Roots. Hey y'all, I'm Logan Bennett and I'm here with the ultra talented Graycie York. Graycie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. For those who don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, that's my least favorite question. I am a Texas country singer-songwriter, and I'm from Rockwell, Texas. I'm born and raised here, and I've been doing this whole music thing for about 2.5 years, I would say, and it's my favorite thing on the entire planet.
What was your childhood like?
It was good. I'm the only child, so I have spent a lot of time with my parents, and they're my best friends. So um, I grew up around mainly older people or boys because all of our friends have boys, and so I was just another one of the boys, which I still am in the music scene because there's mainly guys here. But no, it was a good childhood. I was raised around a lot of music, and I mean, I'm the only person in my family that plays music, but everybody in my family loves any kind of music.
Yeah, it kind of sounds a lot like my childhood. I'm an only child and I first got into music because of my grandpa and grandma.
hmm Yeah, my grandparents loved like that classic country. Like they were the ones that introduced me to all of the older country, especially Patsy Cline, who's my favorite. And they just had a really big impact on my music in general. And my dad is like the craziest music fan that I know, and he likes so many different genres, and it's crazy. So I'm definitely raised around a lot of music.
So what is about Patsy Cline that makes her your favorite artist?
She's just so real and raw. And I mean, I so wish that I could have been alive when she was alive because that would have been amazing. But um, she's just one of those people that left such an impact on the world, especially when she did pass away. Like her music lives on forever. And even what we have of her is so, again, impactful and just raw and real. And she wasn't afraid to be herself and sing about what she wanted to sing about. And I think that she was just an amazing woman.
Then I heard that you and your dad, your thing's to go to a lot of concerts.
Yes, yeah, we love concerts. My first concert ever was Rascal Flatts and Kenny Chesney, I believe. And I was like 4 or something. I don't know. I was super young, and ever since then, we've just gone to a million concerts, and it's our favorite thing.
Yeah, the most recent concert I went to was Cody Johnson, who you recently opened for.
Yes, yeah, we opened for him in El Paso. It was me, Powell Brothers, Randall King, and Cody Johnson, and it was so much fun. Cody is so cool, and it was just an amazing time. It's one of my favorite shows I've ever played.
And then you said your favorite concert you went to was Adele. So she's a big influence on you, isn't she?
Yeah, and I have been listening to that new album like nobody's business. It's so good. Yeah, I went to Adele about, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago, which doesn't even seem like that's real, but it was amazing. And she's another one of those artists that's just like real and not afraid to sing about what she wants to sing about and talk about what she wants to talk about. And I think that that's so cool.
And I'm glad she's coming to country radio since she did that song with Chris Stapleton.
Yes, and I went to Target and I bought the CD because it was what came out. Like that's the only way I could hear it first. And so I went and bought it, and I sat with my parents in my dad's little music area with his CD player, and because my car doesn't even have a CD player in it, and that's so wild that that's gone away. But we listened to it, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, two of my favorite artists of all time singing on a song together. It was amazing.
So who are your biggest musical influences?
I mean, it would be Adele, Patsy Cline, Chris Stapleton. Right now, one of my biggest ones is Ashton Kraft because she's incredible, and her newest album that she just released is amazing. Um, I've really been into kind of more of like the singer-songwriter. Maybe it's my seasonal depression. I have no idea, but I've been to like Rustin Kelly, and I just saw Morgan Wade live for the first time on Monday, which was insane. She's great. Um, and I don't know, I really like the more acoustic broken down stuff right now. I think that that's my my next step is to do an acoustic EP or something.
Who would you most like to collaborate with?
Mm. I really, really would like to collaborate with Chris Stapleton, even though that's like so far out into existence. But I I would love to collaborate with like Lainey Wilson. I feel like that would be fun, or even Tanner. Like I think me and Tanner could do a really good song together. Um, but I don't know. I have so many, and that's one of my like. And I do those little Q&As on Instagram. They're like, "Who do you want to collaborate with?" And I do this like whole long list of people that I'm like, "Here's this and here's this," and like I would like to collaborate with literally everybody. I think.
How would you describe the music that you typically create?
Ooh, I don't know. It's just me. It's just whatever. I don't like to put myself into a box or try to do things that are unnatural to me, and especially with songwriting. Like I don't force myself to songwrite and like sit down and try to write a song like every morning. Like that just doesn't feel right, and I feel like I wouldn't get anything that I actually liked out of that. So I just do whatever feels like me and whatever I'm most comfortable putting out to people. I like to be like real and talk about things. I mean, I like when people can relate, but I also think that even songs that I'm sitting on right now that I'm like, I don't know if I should put them out because it's more personal to me. Those end up being the songs that everybody's like, that's my favorite song. Like I relate to that. It's like, oh, okay. But I think I just do me. I don't know. It's I've never had that question before. I've never had to describe my music or like what I do. I don't know.
I know you write a lot of sad songs. Why do you think that is? Do you think more people can relate to it?
Sad songs are just so easy. I don't know. I've really tried to write happy songs. I have, and I have like a couple. I have like one main happy song, but for the most part, I do write sad songs. I'm not a sad person, but I just I love a good sad song, and I feel like all of my favorite songs are sad, and not even just like lyrically they're sad, not even the tone or anything. Like it's just the lyrics that really I think because they're I mean more people can relate because everybody's been through a hard time. So
So, what's your favorite song to perform live?
ooh, that's a good one. I love to play Texas Rain just because everybody goes nuts for it. Um, but out of like songs that are mine, probably it's probably either Without Me or Forever, just because well Without Me is kind of more upbeat and like we get to like moving around and stuff, but I think Forever just like when we jam it out, it's there's something about that feeling when it's just like the music and feeling those emotions when I wrote it with my dad and just that whole moment. It's so I don't know, it's like euphoric.
What inspired you to do your cover of Texas Rain?
I don't even know. Like I was because I more often a couple years ago I would post songs on Twitter and like covers on Twitter to like get more followers and put my name out there more, and um, I just sat down one day and I was like, what would be a cool song to cover and that people would like. And obviously people love Texas Rain and it's such a huge song in Texas country and in country in general it's a huge song. And so I was like, it'd be cool if I flipped it. And so I just sat down and I flipped the words around and posted it, and everybody really liked it. So
Your new song "Whiskey" that you wrote with Colby Cooper. How did that come about?
his manager Jared, we had been talking back and forth, and like Colby and I had met each other like a year before this happened. So we were friends, and we'd done a couple shows together already. And Jared texted me. He's like, "Hey, would you want to like write with Colby?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, like I'd love to write with Colby. Are you kidding me?" And so he set it all up, and I went to Colby's house, and we sat down and wrote Whiskey. And he had the idea to write Whiskey, and I was like yeah, like we could write a really good song from this idea. And we wrote it, and he asked me if I wanted to cut it, which I was really, really excited that he asked me if I wanted to do it, because I would have been happy if he did it, but I'm really glad that I got to do it.
And then you put out an acoustic version of it.
Yeah, I wanted to have both versions of it just because when I posted it originally on Twitter and Instagram, everybody loved how it was like slowed down and like you could really feel the lyrics and feel that heartbreak. And so I had people tell me, you need to just put it out acoustic, like just how it is. And I was like, but there's the potential for it to be so good, full band. And so I was like, you know what? We're just going to do both. We're just going to put out an acoustic and a full band. And if you want to listen to both, cool. If you want to listen to one over the other, cool. That's your choice.
And the acoustic version gives you more intimate feeling, kind of like artists like Zach Bryan or Cat Hasty. Is that
Mm-hmm.
why you want to do an acoustic EP?
I really, I really love the idea of an acoustic EP, and I mean they're doing great. Like Muscadine's, Cats, like Zach's, like everybody that's done an acoustic EP, JR, like they're all amazing. And I I have a lot of songs that I've been sitting on that I really love and that I'm really proud of, but I think that they deserve to just be acoustic and to be exactly how I wrote them. Um, when I wrote them and in that acoustic, like emotional state that I wrote them in. And they're more of those songs that like I don't know if people are going to relate 100% because it's, you know, super personal to me. But at the same time, I feel like people are really going to like them because they are acoustic and they are more real and open and honest about things that I've been through. And so I really love the idea of that acoustic, emotional, like raw feel. And I think that that's because I want those songs out. I really do. Because I'm really proud of them, but I just need to get them out there. And I think that's the best approach to it.
What's the best advice you've been given?
There's so many. The people I talk to and the people I'm surrounded with are just so smart and they give the best advice. I mean, some of the best that you could say is like being yourself and like giving people the real you. And I mean, I've had people in my life that tell me to not be who I am and to put on a face when I'm, you know, on stage or when I'm meeting people. And that's just not how I want to go about this because, I mean, if you look at like Loretta and Dolly and, you know, all these people, they're real and they're open about who they are. And they're like, if you don't like me, that's fine. Like, if you want to just like my music, that's cool too. Um, but definitely to just be who I am and to not care if people don't like me, and to just make music that I'm proud of. Because at the end of the day, if I put out music that I don't like, I'm going to look back in, you know, 5 years and be like, I wish I wouldn't have released that. Because like, that's just not who I am, you know? So I feel like those are my favorites and what comes to my head first from all the advice but I've been given so much great advice.
And that authenticity is what makes artists stand out. Because you can go
Mm-hmm.
out and make music like any other person, but you need to do what's best for you.
Yeah, for sure. I think that that's very true. And I think all of my favorite artists are super authentic and real. So I think I'm following in that footstep of being who I am without, you know, trying to hide any part of me.
So, what's next for you musically?
Hopefully an acoustic EP. Uh, and then I have some stuff in the works that I'm really excited about. I can't share yet, but it's going to be super exciting. Uh, and I'm super excited to get to share it when I can. But yeah, definitely an acoustic EP and maybe a couple singles in between if I get into the studio, which hopefully I can get in pretty quick and get that done. But yeah, hopefully some acoustic stuff and some of my songs that I've been waiting to get out for a long time.
Before we get off here, I want to ask you about your nickname, Gravy Fork. Where did that come from?
So I'm glad you asked. I so my friend Cade, which he used to be the drummer for Pecos and the Rooftops, and he is an artist himself. He's incredible, and which his Twitter name is KVDE, and that's his like whole brand. And I used to make fun of him for it, and I had DM'd him one time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change my name. Like I'm gonna put a V where my A is in my name. And then I tweeted about it, and I told him that I was like stealing his brand. And then somebody came back and said, I thought that this said gravy fork. And then people just like started dying over that and they started retweeting it and they're like, this is so funny. And so I apparently it just stuck. And I don't know how to feel about it. Like 50% of the time I'm like, yeah, this is funny. Like that's kind of like, this is, I like this. The other 50 is like, do some people actually think that that's just like my nickname? Like everybody has called me that for my whole life. Like I don't know. And people will come up to me at shows, like run up to me. I've had this happen several times. They'll run up to me and they'll be like, Gravy. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know that this was like an actual thing. That's when I realized that people were taking it very seriously to call me that, was when they were running up to me at shows to call me Gravy.
Well, thank you for being on here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.